Good evening. Today model key answers. So let's start. Question main number 1, multiple choice question. Total 6 questions are there, each carrying 1 mark. Old man. The appropriate article to be filled in the blank. Its answer: walk fast. You are a young person, not an old man. Option A, right answer. Then second one, the sun sheds his beams on rich and poor alike. The figure of speech used here. The figure of speech used here. Option A, simile. Option B, metaphor. Option C, personification. Option D, alliteration. Then its right answer, option C, personification. The next question, third one. He couldn't find words enough to thank me. The appropriate question tag to be added is. Its right answer, option D, could he, because here already negative is there. That's why question tag turns into positive. That's why could he. Then fourth one, the doctor entrusted the nurse dash the duty of looking after the patient. The appropriate preposition to be used: option A, of. Option B, from. Option C, with. Option D, in. Then its right answer, the doctor entrusted the nurse with the duty of looking after the patient. Option C, right answer, with. Then fifth one, the idea of a balanced diet is very difficult to dash to anyone who is illiterate. The correct phrasal verb to be used here is. Option A, put through. Option B, put across. Option C, put in. Option D, put up. Then its right answer, the idea of balanced diet is very difficult to put across to anyone who is illiterate. Option B, right answer. Then question number 6, they dash sleeping when the thief dash the bedroom. The correct form of the verb to be filled in the blank are: was enter, were enter, had enter, had been enter. Then its answer, option B, they were sleeping when the thief entered the bedroom. Option B, right answer. Then question main number 2, observe the relationship in the first pair of words and complete the second pair accordingly in the following, each carrying 1 mark. Total 4 questions are there for 4 marks. Seventh one, know, known, wear, worn. Okay, these are changing tenses. Eighth one, admit, confess. Admit, confess. Then truss, hair. Truss, hair. Ninth one, movable, opposite, immovable. Utilize, opposite, unutilize. Then 10th one, cereal, same pronouncing word, cereal. Okay, spelling only change. Stationery, stationery. Okay, stationery, same pronouncing words these are, but the meaning different. Third one, rewrite as a directed, each carrying 1 mark. Total 3 questions are there. 11th one, frame a question to get the underlined word as an answer. Geeta saw her friend in Raja seat last night. Where did Geeta see her friend last night? This is the question. 12th one, change the sentence into exclamatory sentence. Chandrayana 3 is very great space mission. Then its answer, exclamatory sentence, what a great space mission the Chandrayana 3 is. Then 13th one, change the voice of the sentence. Pasture inoculated the young boy with some weak rabies germs. Then change of a voice. The young boy was inoculated with some weak rabies germs by pasture. By pasture. Fourth question main number 4, answer the following questions in a sentence each carrying 1 mark. Total 4 questions are there for 4 marks. 14th one, what did Jim buy for Della as a Christmas gift? A set of beautiful combs. A set of beautiful combs. 15th one, what according to the Cherian Alexander is the only way to restore sanity? Its answer, local communities, cooperatives, civil societies and democratic governments everywhere to take back the autonomy. 16th one. Who revealed that the girl was blind? Its answer, the new fellow traveler. The new fellow traveler. 17th one. What is the neighbor's stock reply? Its answer, good fences make a good neighbors. Good fences make a good neighbors. Then 5th one. Answer the following questions in 2 or 3 sentences each carrying 2 marks. Total 7 questions are there. 7 to the 14 mark. 18th one. Explain the contribution of Pasteur to the field of bacteriology. Then its answer, Pasteur showed what a wide range it had by studying the bacteria in all sorts of different activities. For 3 years, he spent all his time and energy in tracking down the cause of a disease which had ruined the silkworm industry. Next, he began to believe that most, if not all, infectious diseases were due to certain bacteria which, if they got into the blood, multiplied and caused diseases. Then 19th one question. Why does Gandhi say that Alexander's conquests cannot be called moral actions? Answer. Alexander took Greek language and Greek culture, arts and manners whenever he went. Today we enjoy the benefits of Greek civilization. The intention of Alexander behind all this was only conquest and renown. He was termed great, but moral he cannot be called. 20th one question. What happened when the speaker expressed and suppressed his anger? Answer. When the speaker expressed his anger, misunderstanding got cleared, anger ended. When the speaker suppressed his anger, the misunderstanding not cleared, it started to grow leaps and bounds. Question number 21. This thou perceivest which makes the love more strong. Explain. The speaker passed his childhood, youth and old age. At present he is in the deathbed. He asked his friend to realize this, which would help his love to become stronger. Question number 22. Why did Drona demand sad recompense from Bhutto? Drona had promised Arjuna that he would be the greatest archer, but Bhutto had mastered all the skills better and would become a tough competitor. Question number 23. What did Jim and his mother take from Billy's sea chest before they fled the inn? Answer. Jim and his mother quickly searched through Billy's precious sea chest. His mother took as much coins as to cover the old pirate's rent and not a halfpenny more. While Jim found an intriguing bundle of papers wrapped in oilcloth, which he pocketed as a payment for his services. Alarmed by loud voices, Jim and his mother fled out. Question number 24. Why didn't he fellow Cyclops help Polyphemus when he cried out for help? Answer. The fellow Cyclops said if no man has hurt him and no man is with him, he is alone. The evil which affects him is from the hand of heaven, which none can resist. So they left and went their way, thinking that some disease troubled the Polyphemus. Sixth one, rewrite as directed, each carrying 2 marks. Total 3 questions are there for 6 marks. 25th, change the following sentence into compound and complex sentences. In spite of his riches, he is unhappy. Then compound, he is very rich yet but are still he is unhappy. Whichever you use. Or complex, he is unhappy through his he is rich. R. Although he is rich, he is unhappy. Question number 26. Change the following sentence into reported speech. Do you know anything about microchips in computers? The expert said to me. The expert questioned me whether or if I knew anything about microchips in computer. 27th one. Change the following sentence to the other two degrees of comparison. Very few scientists in the world were as great as Sir C.V. Raman. Okay, then comparative. Sir C.V. Raman was greater than most or many other scientists in the world. Superlative. Sir C.V. Raman was one of the greatest scientists in the world. Question main number 7. Answer the following questions in 5 to 6 sentences each carrying 3 marks. Total 6 questions are there. So 18 marks. 28th one. How does C.V. Raman describe the rain-fed tanks? Answer. The rain-fed tanks that are common in South India, often so sadly neglected in their maintenance. Cheering sight when they are full. They are shallow, but this is less evident. The water is silt laden through the light back. The bottom does not show off. Tanks play a vital role in South Indian agriculture. Some of these tanks are surprisingly large. It is a beautiful sight to see the sunrise or sunset over one of them. Question number 29. Lochinwara finally won the Allen for himself. Justify. Answer. Lochinwara was a brave knight, rode alone and unarmed. He was faithful in love, duty, dauntless in war. He crossed the Sk river and boldly entered the Netherby hall where bridesmen, kinsmen and brothers were present. Bride's father questioned him by keeping hand on his sword whether you have come in a peace nor to fight or to dance with Allen. Lochinwara replied that he had come to dance, to lead one measure, drink 1 cup of wine with Allen. Allen kissed the goblet. He drank quickly and threw down the cup. Allen had a smile on her lips and tears in her eye. Lochinwara took her soft hand and they started dancing. He started to whisper in her ear. By dancing, they reached the hall door. The charger was near. They swung to the saddle and fled with swift horse. Netherby clans started to chase, but they fled. Finally, Lochinwara won Allen for himself. Question number 30. The stolen boat experience was long-lasting memory in the mind of William Wordsworth. Explain. As the poet William Wordsworth started rowing the boat in moonlight, he could hear the mountain echoes. The boat started moving left behind her trail on small circle glittering in the moon. He fixed his view upon the crazy ridge, the horizon's utmost boundary. As he rose, the pleasurable experience in troubled by his guilty conscience. For above was nothing but only stars and the grey sky. His boat was compared to Elfin Pinas going through the water like a swan. He feels scared of his stealthy act. The horizon's bound, a huge peak, black and huge, preared, his head growing in statue. It stored up between him and the stars. With trembling oars, he rose and leaves the boat in its mooring place. The huge mysterious shapes and images haunts him sleepless. 31st question. Narrate how the nature and the hunters damage the wall. Answer. During the spring mending time, the speaker tell his neighbor about the damaged wall. During winter, the moisture of the earth hardens into ice, swells the ground and dislocate the wall. When the rabbits are chased by the hunters, they hide between the stones The hunters try to put out the rabbits. 32nd. What does Karna say Bhishma about his loyalty to Duryodhana? Karna said he knew that he was Kunti's son and not Chariote's son. He had eaten Duryodhana's salt and must be true to him. To be true to his own lineage, he said that it is impossible for him to go over to the Pandavas. Grandsire must permit him to repay with his life the debt he owes to Duryodhana for his love and trust. They had erred greatly in word and deed. Grandsire must forgive him for it all and give him his blessings. 33rd. No Najis were seen on the stage, but their omnious presence made itself felt every minute. Illustrate its answer. When the play opened in 7 German cities simultaneously, no one knew how the audience would react. The drama progressed through its 8 brief scenes. Only Nazi jackboots were heard storming upstairs to raid the hiding place. Packed audiences received Anne Frank's tragedy in a silence heavy with rumors. They sat in their seat as if afraid of the light outside, ashamed to face each other. It is an indictment in the most humble, pitiful terms of inhumanity to fellow men. No one accuses us as Germans, we accuse ourselves. For this question, they asked another one R-type question. An amazing variety of sleek. First, we have to see the question. What's the question? Write a short note on the views expressed by the writer on the tragic comedy of development. Why does he call it tragic comedy? Tragic comedy. An amazing variety of sleek new car models to choose from, but the roads in our cities are in pretty bad shape and getting worse. Fashionable luxury resorts for the affluent are coming up everywhere. Lung spaces for public use, parks and playgrounds are shrinking. The same story with many other services in the public domain, including transportation, health care, and education. The trend is to push even the most essential services in the private realm so that they can make profit on them. The poor are being pushed into becoming consumers of increasingly expensive goods and utilities. Question main number 8. Explain with reference to the context. 3 marks questions. Total 5 questions are there for 15 marks. 34th. You want to draw water from the torrent. Answer. Lesson. A wrong man in a worker's paradise. Author Rabindranath Tagore. The girl of the worker paradise said to the idler. Every day when the girl went to the torrent, the idler would stand by the stream. The girl felt pity on the man and wanted to know whether he needed pitcher to fetch the water from the torrent, but the idler asked for one of the pitchers. Question number 35. Thank goodness it's a short journey. Lesson. The eyes are not here. Author Ruskin Bond. The girl said to the author. When the author said to girl that they would be at her station, so the girl felt happy that it was short journey because she couldn't bear to sit in a train for more than 2 or 3 hours. The girl said the above words. 36th question. Well, your honor, I must leave. Lesson. Uppy and the Tart. Author Hugh Chesterman. Then Pierre said to Judge Gaston, and this was conveyed to Jean. Pierre and Jean were starving without food. Pierre was pinched the previous month for begging. Judge Gaston asked Pierre why he did it. Pierre said the above sentence. Question number 37. With her beak, she kissed a few feathers. Poem. To a pair of Saurus Green. Poet Manmohan Singh. She circled the sky in a moment of a grace over his disgraceful end. Then she came to the death scene with a grief that inscribed its intensity. The female bird with her beak kisses the feathers of the male bird, sits on them to bring it back to life. 38th question. What have I done or tried or said in thanks to that dear woman dead? Poem CLM. Poet John Masefield. John Masefield explains the dedication of his mother. He gives importance to the womankind. Men triumph over women in society. Men show their superiority and treat them as if they are not important. The poet feels that he was not done, tried, or said anything to thank that dear woman dead. Question main number 9. Quote from memory. The rich dash dash of gold are and I watered dash 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 deceitful wiles. The rich will make temples for Shiva. What shall I, a poor man, do? My legs are pillars, the body the shrine, the head a kafola of gold. Or you can able to above stanza, or you can able to write below stanza also. And I watered it in a fierce night and morning with my tears, and I sunned with the smiles and with the soft deceitful wiles. Question main number 10. Answer the following questions in 7 to 8 sentences each carrying 4 marks. Totals 3 questions are there. 3 4s are 12 marks. 40th one question. List the values which the poet father wants the teacher to teach his son. 8 points required. All men are not just. All men are not true. For every scoundrel there is a hero. Every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. Every enemy there is a friend. Teach him to learn to lose. Teach him to secret of quiet laughter. Teach him the wonder of books. It is far honorable to fail than cheat, to have a faith in his own ideas, gentle with gentle and tough with tough, strength not to follow the crowd, listen to all men and filter what he hears on screen of truth. There is no shame in tears, to close his ears to howling mob, have the courage to be impatient, to have sublime faith in himself. Question number 41. The writer compares Della's hair to Queen of Sheba's jewels and Jim's watch to King's Solomon's treasure. Explain. The two possessions which they both took a mighty pride. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. The other was Della's hairs. The Queen of Sheba lived in the flat across the air shaft. Della would have let her hair hang out of the window some day to dry, just to despite her majesty, jewels and gifts. King Solomon, being the janitor with all his treasure piled up in the basement, Jim would have pulled out his watch every time he passed, just to see him pluck at his beard from envy. For this question, they asked another R-type question. First, we have to see the question. Pasteur conducted an experiment to show the difference between pure and stale air. Elaborate. Then answer. Pasteur conducted an experiment to show the difference between pure and stale air. Pasteur filled some bottles with soup. He took some into the little hotel bedroom where the air hardly ever changed, broke their necks off so that the air could enter freely, and after a few minutes sealed them up again. He then took some bottles into a field nearby and did the same with them. Finally, he opened some on the top of high mountains and again sealed them up. When they were examined, the bottles opened in the hotel bedroom were full of soup with which had gone completely moldy. The bottle opened in the field were moldy, but no quite so bad. Those opened on the mountain had no germs in them at all. Question number 42. Describe the uncertainty and disorganization among the players of the village cricket match. There was a doubt. Answer. There was a doubt and confusion among the warriors of Forden. The blacksmith had forgotten about the sprained ankle and began to run. The baker also set out. From the other end, Joe also set out on his mission. The blacksmith and the baker ran with their heads turned not only upwards but also backwards as well. The three met with a magnificent clang. There was uncertainty among invaders too. Mr. Hodge couldn't take good decision. Major Hawker, Boone, and Livingstone and Southcott were running to catch the ball. Mr. Hodge yelled at Livingstone to catch the ball. Southcott, a disciplined cricketer, stopped dead. Mr. Hodge reversed his decision and asked Mr. Southcott to catch the ball, but Livingstone didn't hear the second order, went straight on. They collided with each other. For this question, they asked another one R-type question. We have to see the first question. Explain with example why Gandhiji say that a moral act should be done without compulsion. Then its answer. It is not enough for moral act to have been done with a good intention, but it should have been done without compulsion. There is no morality in one's act if you rise early out of the fear that if you are late for your office, you may lose your situation. There is no morality in living a simple and unpretentious life if there is no means to live otherwise. Plain simple living would be moral if wealthy, want and misery in the world and feel to live a plain simple life and not one of ease and luxury. It's only selfish and not moral if an employer to sympathize with his employees or to pay them higher wages lest they leave him. He would be moral of the employer wished well of them and treated them kindly, realizing how he owed his prosperity to them. This means that for an act to be moral, it has to be free from fear and compulsion. Question main number 11. Read the following passage carefully and answer the following questions. Total 2 questions are there, for each carrying 2 marks, for 4 marks, total 4 marks. A question. Why do some words disappear from spoken language? Some words that were once used to name certain things disappeared as a new inventions. Replaced the old, other words have disappeared because people say things differently today. Then second question. What were the words used to name different kinds of horse-drawn vehicles? The words surrey, gig, backboard, brougham, carriage, buggy, shay, calash, chaise, carriole and filbury. Question main number 12. Write an essay about 18 to 20 sentences on each on any one of the following topics. It's a 5-mark question. 44th. A. The effect of plastic pollution on marine life, measure to be taken. B. Artificial intelligence, its merits and demerits. Okay, for matter 2 marks, sequence 2 marks, for language accuracy 1 mark. 13th question number 13. Imagine you are Vinay or Vandana of Government High School Karwara. 45th question. Write a letter to your father informing him about the computer training course which you joined recently. Or imagine you are Gautam or Gautami of Government High School Chitradurga. Write a letter to your headmaster requesting him to grant you scholarship by stating reasons. Okay, for format 2 marks, matter 2 marks, language 1 mark. Up to now what we discussed 2025 first language English scheme of evaluation or model key answers. These are helpful, these videos are helpful to upcoming 2025-26 SSLC students also as a reference paper, and not only that, who they are took less marks for them for exam 2 and exam 3. For those also this is also helpful question paper, so share to your friends and other groups, and it is also helpful to how much I can able to score in my exam. Okay, for that purpose also it's helpful, so share to your friends and the other groups. Thank you so much.